Good morning. Again, I'm Sharon Carty, Editor-in-Chief of Autoblog. Welcome back to the Ricardo Symposium on Innovation and Sustainability. I'd like to welcome up to the stage Clive Wotton, who's the CEO of Ricardo, to talk about Ricardo's 100 years.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. And I'd like to welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome you all in person, coming to see us here in the Ricardo Detroit Technical Center garage, and also welcome to any of you that are watching online. If you'd like, I'd encourage you to join the conversation. You can do so through Twitter using hashtag Ricardo100 and also hashtag sustainability. 2015 is a very special year for Ricardo. It's actually our centenary. Ricardo have been around in operation for 100 years now. And after 100 years of work, I can tell you it's time to take a little break and reflect on what we've actually achieved, and particularly the achievements from Harry Ricardo. So before I turn the podium back to Sharon, I'd like to provide a little bit of context for our discussions today. Consumer behavior, technology, policy, strategy, economics, and to a large extent the willingness that we have to actually collaborate and cooperate together all play an important role in creating a vision of the future. And I'm really looking forward to listening to the panel today, because there is such a wealth of expertise to help us shape this vision of what future transportation, sustainability and mobility will encapsulate for us. As you heard in the introduction, Ricardo's strategy is based upon three pillars critical to the success of a modern economy and a community. These are transportation and security, energy, and scarce resources and waste. And this symposium today absolutely aligns perfectly with those three pillars of our strategy. At Ricardo, we have a global team of 2,100 engineers all over the world, good scientists, fantastic support staff that work on our client projects, and you may see some of the products dotted around the garage today. We work on designing, validating, and commercializing these products. Being able to work with this technology and this range of incredible staff has kept me at Ricardo absolutely energized. Both, what I really enjoy most of all is the fact that we can contribute to sustainability and a very strong environmental interest in what we do. There's nothing better than actually seeing vehicles that we produce that are 5 or 10% more efficient than an outgoing model. Not only is the performance better, the impact to the environment is actually less. And I know I'm not alone with this passion that I'm speaking to you about today. We have with us one of the speakers, Valérie Ferret, who's created a sustainability strategy for her company, Dassault Systems. So I'm looking forward to Valérie speaking later. So Harry Ricardo founded this company driven by his passion for efficiency, mechanical engineering, and technology development. And I'll just highlight a few of these particular inventions and some of the work we're doing. In the 1930s, Harry Ricardo invented the Comet combustion system. This is a small diesel combustion system that was used in particularly European passenger cars from the 1930s through to the 1990s. Typically, it was about 15 to 20% more efficient than the equivalent gasoline engine. And so if you look at the number of European vehicles that adopted this system, you can see that it saved millions of gallons of fuel and consequently millions of tons of carbon dioxide. Another good example of Ricardo's interest in the environment and in sustainability was in 1952, the winter of 1952 to 53. There was a severe air pollution event in London, known as the London smog, that reportedly killed over 10,000 people. So the agency that's now the environmental division of Ricardo was key to understanding the formation of the smog, the chemicals, the particulate, and most importantly, how to actually treat it. So this understanding is the foundation of sophisticated modelling capabilities that many cities and governments still use today to develop their air quality policies. Even today, here in Detroit, in the engineering offices in the building behind us, the engineering team have won contracts recently from the US government agencies to undertake technical competition and evaluations of ideas for improvement of vehicle weight, fuel efficiency, and hence lightweighting studies for vehicles. And also, they're undertaking a study currently to evaluate devices to convert energy from ocean waves into electricity. So we've expanded well beyond our first 100 years of automotive heritage. So it's absolutely been an exciting first 100 years, and we're looking forward to the next 100. If we change our view now and think about vehicles, where are we going in the future? We've had wonderful conversations before the show today, and it's clear we all have different thoughts on it. There's no single clear answer. There's a range from bicycles and scooters that can be driven by tiny electric motors, very efficient internal combustion engines, and it's often the favoured commuter vehicle of Southeast Asia. In China, there are hundreds of small electric scooters. For us, in America, it's more common to have a passenger car, and that can be driven by all sorts of motors, liquid nitrogen engines, compressed air engines, if you want no carbon at the point of use, through to the more conventional gasoline, diesel, compressed natural gas engines. And most of these, certainly in the future, will actually be joined together with some form of electric motor and energy storage system for energy recovery and improved efficiency. And this is where we need people like our panelist Jean Redfield, who'll be speaking later from Next Energy, who's absolutely key in bringing together entrepreneurs, industry and government to form solutions that are both sustainable, but most importantly, financially feasible for us. Another mega trend is actually urbanisation. Cities are growing and growing, size of cities is growing, and certainly to encounter cities with over 20 million people in is an astounding experience. But all of these mega cities are tending towards problems with unhealthy air conditions, either on a macro scale or locally within very dense areas. And this is compounded by the projected rate of growth in the vehicle fleet, 80% increase in vehicles worldwide between now and 2035. Fortunately, regulations have been introduced to actually tame carbon dioxide emissions and try and cut greenhouse gases. And so today we have with us Margot Ogay, who was with one of the leaders in crafting the policy that's well known in the US as CAFE 2025, and many of you that buy cars may have heard of the 54.5 miles per gallon regulations in 2025. So she'll be sharing her vision with us on the importance of policy for combating climate change and, absolutely key, smarter, cleaner cars. One thing is certain, however, as we look to the future, electrification of powertrains. That's one thing I will bet on. Sharon was asking me about investments. I'll bet on electrification there. There's no doubt we need electrified powertrains for energy storage, energy use, energy recovery, but we will need a breakthrough in battery energy storage, both in density and in terms of cost. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Anne-Marie Sastry later today from SACTI 3 to speak about this battery technology. And I will say, wonderful article and an interview there in the Wall Street on Monday. Another mega trend, connected cars, leading through to the total autonomy of vehicles. And in this garage, if you look around, you can see a few examples of electrified cars. But beyond that, we move into how do you actually make the cars fully autonomous, self-parking, aware of the surroundings, etc. There are certainly quite a number of vehicles, OEM manufacturers that are involved in this. Google grabs headlines, but beyond Google, there are numerous manufacturers, suppliers of sensors, radar, LiDAR systems, software, and particularly infrastructure and communication systems to be able to talk to vehicles. Well, why? One of the key things is traffic management. It's calculated that passengers and drivers lose 90 million hours per year stuck in traffic jams. So if you can bring connected vehicles and updating infrastructure with vehicle location and traffic density, there'll be enormous improvements in route planning and traffic management. The most important thing, however, is accidents. Traffic accidents and pedestrian accidents are calculated to take the lives of between 1.2 and 1.3 million people annually. Further to that, there's another 7 million industries. Now, there was a quote from Chris Urmson at Google yesterday that really brought it home to me. That's the equivalent of a jet airliner crashing every single day of the year. So automated vehicles, if we can overcome these issues in terms of accidents, I think are an absolutely compelling reason to focus on the future. So predictions, they're never straightforward, uncertainties get in the way. Future needs and requirements of consumers are key, particularly the adoption of them to understanding what the future's going to be like. So we have Cheryl Connolly, who will actually speak to us shortly, futurist at Ford Motor Company, who's actually done a lot of work on collecting information on what consumers will like 20 years into the future. So on that note, I'd like to just wrap up. I'm absolutely looking forward to hearing from our panelists today. Absolutely superb team, some that I've worked alongside, some I've worked for directly, some I've worked for indirectly. I can't wait to hear from what they've got to say. And on that note, I'll turn the podium back over to Sharon Carty, Executive Editor of AOL Autos. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sharon.